Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm. This is going to be a very quick video. I just want to show you some of the things I'm looking for with this event flyer assignment. Here's some examples of some event flyers that I built last year for a couple of fundraising activities that I was working on with the Cyber Patriot team. And I designed these flyers in Microsoft Publisher. So I did essentially what I'm expecting you to do in this assignment to build these flyers. Now, couple things I want to highlight. I want to show you why this would be considered an A for this assignment. So first of all, let's look at the color schemes here, right? This is a color assignment. We really want to focus on the color. So if you notice, I used a couple of different color schemes here that work really well. First of all, the Mario Kart tournament, I have Mario, his color scheme is red and blue. It's a common theme for Mario. And so I reflected that in the colors that I chose for the design. Also, there's red and blue in the Cyber Patriot logo. And so I kind of chose a red and blue that somewhat matched the rest of the elements in my design. So the pictures I was using in the design kind of informed the colors I was using for the text and for the extra design elements in the background there. Over here, it was kind of open, right? I could use whatever color scheme I wanted. So I went with a really nice complementary color scheme. I call it the Joker scheme, the purple and green. I really like that color scheme, and it kind of just screams nerd to me, and it's also very flashy and it catches the eye really well. So I went with the purple and green color scheme, and then I found a picture of a cool looking computer with roughly the same green-ish color to kind of match the rest of the design. So in this flyer, the picture I used informed what colors I used for the rest of the flyer. On this flyer, I chose the colors first and then I found pictures to match it. So it depends on what you're doing. You can choose, your color scheme needs to be informed by the elements that you're using on the page. So that's color. Now notice there's a lot of good white space here. There's a lot of good spacing. Nothing looks too close. I mean, right here, maybe it's a little bit too close. I could have probably adjusted that a little bit better. Over here, it looks actually better. Everything looks nice and spaced out. There's nothing that's too, nothing's really encroaching on other elements' territories within these documents. Let's talk about hierarchy just a bit. So the first thing you notice when you look at this document is the Cyber Patriot logo. And I wanted that to be the first thing you saw when you looked at the flyer, because this is for the Cyber Patriot team and we are raising money for the Cyber Patriot team. So I wanted everyone to understand, oh, this is a Cyber Patriot thing. And then the next thing you see is probably the $20 or the $10 here. And then your eye naturally goes down to the big text right here in the middle, right? So I'm purposely designing this to try to guide my viewer through the flyer in a specific way. Also, if you look at the typography here, I'm using only one font for the entire document, but I'm using different color schemes and sizes to really make the font stick out. Now, technically, I'm using two different fonts because the Cyber Patriot logo has its own font, but they were close enough to where it actually looked kind of good together. But I'm using different caps or a different, so this is all caps down here because that's important information that I want them to see. This is regular, just normal caps because I didn't want them to get fatigued reading a bunch of all caps. There's all caps here. If this was all caps as well, it would look a little bit weird. But see, these are the kind of decisions you need to make, right? White space, proximity, repetition, typography, and definitely color. This is a color assignment, so I'm looking for your use of color schemes to really make your document stand out and look good. So again, don't copy my design, come up with your own idea, make a flyer for whatever you want, but give me your best version of a colorful, eye-catching event flyer that you can put up, in the school or on a bulletin board or whatever. If you're making a battle of the bands or, a robot competition or whatever it is, it's completely up to you what the flyer is. I'm looking for the design choices. So I'm going to leave you to it. I'm going to shut up and let you get started, and I will see you next week.